Volodymyr Zelensky was born in the small industrial city of Kiev, Ukraine. His family lived near factories and coal mines, where the air often smelled of metal and dust. Every morning, Volodymyr heard the distant hum of machinery and the whistle of trains. Life in Kiev was not easy, but Volodymyr's home was filled with love. His father was a university professor who taught computer science. His mother was an engineer who designed machines. Both parents believed deeply in the power of learning. They filled their house with books on history, science, and literature. Yet Volodymyr found his greatest joy in laughter. As a young boy, Volodymyr spent his days playing with friends in the dusty streets. They kicked a worn-out football, rode old bicycles, and chased each other until dusk. When the game ended, Volodymyr would entertain his friends with funny faces and silly voices. His grandfather, a quiet war veteran, always smiled and clapped after each new joke. In those moments, Volodymyr discovered that making others laugh felt like magic. Even the hardest days seemed lighter when someone smiled. Life under Soviet rule shaped Volodymyr's understanding of freedom and joy. In the 1980s, the government controlled what people read, watched, and said. Electricity cuts were common, and long bread lines stretched down the street. Neighbors helped each other by sharing food and warmth. In that world, small gatherings around a candlelit table became a place of comfort. Volodymyr's family whispered about books they could not openly discuss. Still, they found delight in secret stories and old films shown on a faded sheet of fabric. For Volodymyr, humor became a small act of resistance, a way to bring light to dark times. When Volodymyr entered middle school in Kiev, he learned about a school talent show. His heart pounded when he saw the stage. The lights looked bright and sharp. He felt a knot of fear in his stomach. His parents encouraged him to focus on his studies, but his friends begged him to try. After much thought, Volodymyr wrote a short skit. He chose to imitate his strict history teacher. He studied the teacher's stern voice and serious gestures. He practiced every evening in front of a cracked mirror. On the night of the talent show, Volodymyr wore a simple white shirt and held a sheet of paper with his lines. He walked onto the stage and faced the silent audience. He took a deep breath and spoke in a high-pitched voice, copying the teacher's tone exactly. Suddenly, a small laugh came from the back row. Then another laugh followed. Soon, the room filled with warm laughter and smiling faces. Volodymyr felt his fear melt away. He finished his skit with a final exaggerated bow. The audience cheered and clapped. In that moment, Volodymyr knew he belonged on stage. After the show, students surrounded him. They praised his timing and boldness. He felt proud, but also humble. His parents greeted him at home with hugs and quiet words of pride. His mother smiled and said, "You made people happy tonight." His father patted his shoulder and reminded him that hard work always pays off. Volodymyr understood that success came from both courage and practice. From that day on, Volodymyr balanced schoolwork with performance. He studied math and literature by day and wrote sketches by night. He learned to watch his audience carefully. When people leaned forward, he knew to pause. When they relaxed, he pressed on. He discovered that good humor depends on timing, tone, and a simple connection with listeners. He also learned that clear speech and slow pacing help people understand and follow along. Volodymyr's first taste of success taught him several lessons. He learned that courage can overcome fear. He learned that practice turns nerves into confidence. He learned that laughter can brighten difficult moments. Above all, he discovered that sharing joy is a gift, both for the performer and the audience. As he grew older, Volodymyr continued to perform at school events and local gatherings. Each performance helped him refine his skills and build his confidence. Yet he never forgot his roots in Kiev or the lessons he learned in his grandparents' living room. Those early days, marked by simple jokes and friendly smiles, laid the foundation for a life dedicated to making people laugh, forging connections, and facing the world with courage and hope. Volodymyr Zelensky finished school and gathered a few close friends who shared his love of comedy. They met in a small room above a quiet cafe in Kiev. In that dusty space, they wrote short sketches about life in Ukraine. One sketch showed a man trying to borrow sugar from a neighbor who never returned it. Another sketch imagined a teacher so strict that students hid under desks to avoid homework. They called themselves Kvartal 95, after the district where they first met. At first, their audiences were small. Sometimes only 10 people sat in folding chairs. Other times, a few extra villagers came by chance. When no one laughed, the group asked each other what to change. They learned to write tighter jokes, with short setup lines and quick punchlines. They learned to watch faces and listen for the first giggle. If laughter came early, they knew they had good material. If silence filled the room, they tried again. Over and over, they practiced until their timing felt natural. After many local shows, Kvartal 95 decided to enter KVN, a famous comedy competition held in Moscow. In the big hall, bright lights shone on the stage. Volodymyr felt his heart beat fast as he walked out with his friends. They began with a familiar scene, two farmers arguing about a broken tractor. The audience recognized the joke and burst into laughter. In later rounds, they showed a sketch about a noisy office printer that ate papers and shouted at its user. Each time the audience laughed loud, Volodymyr felt more confident. In the final round, Kvartal 95 won a key prize. That night, they hugged, cried, and thanked each other for hard work and friendship. Winning at KVN opened doors. Television producers invited Kvartal 95 to appear on national shows in Ukraine. Their faces began to appear on posters and billboards. More people watched their sketches on TV and online. The group used simple language and clear actions so everyone could understand. They showed everyday ideas, like waiting in a long line at the bank or trying to fix a leaky roof, and turned them into funny moments. Their success proved that real stories connect best with an audience. In 2015, Kvartal 95 made their biggest move yet. A television channel asked Volodymyr to star in a new series called Servant of the People. In this show, he played Vasyl Holoborodko, a humble history teacher. In one scene, Vasyl posted a video where he spoke honestly about corruption in politics. The video went viral. People watched again and again. Vasyl was an ordinary man who loved his students and dreamed of a fair country. When the story continued, Vasyl found himself elected president by accident. Viewers laughed at the absurd ideas, but they also felt a deep connection to his honesty. Servants of the People gave Volodymyr a chance to blend humor with real issues. Each episode mixed light jokes with important ideas. Viewers saw Vasyl help a farmer who lost his land, comfort a student who failed an exam, and stand up to dishonest officials. The show did not use big words or long speeches. It used simple phrases like, "We need change," and "tell the truth." The audience smiled at the jokes, but they also thought about the message. The series reached millions across Ukraine and beyond. People talked about it at work, at home, and in cafes. They shared clips on social media and wrote comments about how they wished life could be more honest. Kvartal 95's journey from small rooms to a beloved TV series taught Volodymyr several lessons. He saw how a small team with a clear goal can grow step by step. He learned that shared work and mutual trust help overcome challenges. He found that humor grounded in truth can touch many hearts and lead to real reflection. For Ukrainian audiences, Kvartal 95 became more than a comedy troupe. They became storytellers who used laughter to shine light on everyday life. Through these experiences, Volodymyr developed clear and simple speech. He chose words that everyone could follow. He spoke slowly, with clear pauses, so even those learning English could catch each phrase. His success with Kvartal 95 and Servant of the People showed that simple, honest stories have the power to unite people, inspire change, and plant seeds of hope in every viewer's heart. Volodymyr Zelensky surprised everyone when he announced in 2019 that he would run for president of Ukraine. Many people laughed at first. They knew him as a comedian and TV star. They wondered how a man without political experience could lead a country. Volodymyr believed that honesty, hope, and listening to people mattered more than experience alone. He traveled by bus to towns and villages across Ukraine. In each place, he met teachers, farmers, factory workers, and families. He listened to their stories. A mother spoke of her child's future. A young man talked about finding a job. An elderly man described the pain of corruption. Volodymyr spoke in simple language. He said, "I understand you. I want to help. Together, we can build a better Ukraine." His words were easy to follow. People saw that he was sincere. Volodymyr's campaign used social media in a new way. Instead of long speeches, he made short videos. In one clip, he stood in front of a small school and asked, "What do you need most?" In another, he walked through a market and said, "I see your hard work." Young people shared these videos online. They wrote comments like, "Finally, a leader who speaks our language." His team used clear phrases such as "end corruption," "create jobs," and "value every person." On election day, over 70% of Ukrainians voted for Volodymyr Zelensky. Crowds cheered in city squares when the results were announced. A comedian had become their president. In his first speech to the nation, he stood at the presidential palace steps and said slowly, "I am here to serve you. Together, we will move forward." His calm voice and clear message gave people hope. In February 2022, war came to Ukraine's doorstep. Russian forces invaded the country. Bombs fell on cities, and sirens warned of danger. Many leaders left the capital for safety. Volodymyr Zelensky did not. He stayed in Kiev. He put on a simple green shirt and walked through the streets. He spoke to soldiers and citizens, and he said to the camera, "I am here." Those 3 words became a promise. People felt strength when they heard them. Under his leadership, citizens from every walk of life came together. Young men joined the army. Volunteers delivered food, medicine, and warm clothes. Farmers used their tractors to block enemy vehicles. Teachers held classes in underground shelters. Artists painted murals on broken walls. Each act of support added to the nation's courage. Volodymyr spoke daily on television and social media. He gave clear updates on the situation. He put simple phrases on the screen: "Stay strong," "Help your neighbor," and "We will win." His calm tone helped families hiding in basements and soldiers on the front lines. World leaders watched his speeches. They praised his courage and sent weapons, money, and supplies. Even in the darkest hours, Volodymyr's words carried hope. He reminded people that freedom was worth the fight. He said, "We are not alone. Thank you, world." His sincerity moved many countries to stand with Ukraine. In streets and squares far away, people held blue and yellow flags. They chanted, "We stand with Ukraine." As the war continued, Ukraine's spirit remained unbroken. Citizens cleared rubble from bombed buildings. Workers repaired electricity lines. Volunteers planted new trees in damaged parks. Children drew pictures of peace and sent them to soldiers. Every small action showed that life and hope could grow in the hardest soil. Volodymyr Zelensky's journey from TV star to president taught a simple lesson. One person, armed with honesty and courage, can inspire millions. He showed that speaking in clear, simple words can unite a nation and touch the world. His story reminds English learners that powerful messages do not need complicated words. They need heart, clarity, and a belief in a better tomorrow. Volodymyr Zelensky's life is a remarkable journey from a small-town boy to a global symbol of courage and hope. Born in the industrial city of Kiev, he learned early that laughter can brighten even the darkest days. His first performances in dusty school halls showed him the power of simple jokes to bring people together. As he formed Kvartal 95 with friends, he discovered that teamwork and honest humor can turn everyday stories into shared smiles. Their success in the KVN competition and on national television proved that real-life experiences connect most deeply with an audience. With the TV series Servant of the People, Volodymyr blended comedy and truth, playing Vasil Holoborodko, the honest teacher turned accidental president. He used simple language and clear messages to highlight the importance of integrity. Millions of viewers laughed, reflected, and felt inspired to believe that positive change is possible. His transition from actor to presidential candidate showcased another lesson. Sincerity and listening can outweigh traditional experience. When he ran for president in 2019, Volodymyr spoke directly to ordinary Ukrainians. He traveled by bus to meet farmers, teachers, and workers. He listened to their struggles and spoke in their language, sharing short messages of hope and unity. His campaign videos used clear phrases like, "I understand you," and "Together, we will build a better future." This simplicity helped people from all backgrounds follow his vision. In the face of war in 2022, President Zelensky's leadership shone brightest. He remained in Kiev, wearing a simple shirt and repeating the promise, "I am here." His daily messages, "Stay strong, help your neighbor, we will win," gave courage to families in shelters and soldiers on the front lines. Citizens united to defend their country. Volunteers cooked meals, farmers blocked roads, and teachers taught in underground classrooms. Each small act of support became a powerful testament to solidarity. From Volodymyr's story, we learn that courage, honesty, and community can overcome fear and division. A single person speaking with heart can inspire millions. Simple words, when shared with sincerity, have the power to unite and heal. In our own lives, we can apply these lessons by choosing kindness, listening to others, and using clear, honest communication. When we face challenges, we can remember that small acts of courage and genuine empathy can lead to meaningful change. Congratulations! By listening to this story from start to finish, you have improved your English listening and comprehension skills. Now let's interact. Which lesson from Volodymyr's journey spoke to you the most? A. Courage in the face of fear. B. Power of unity. Please comment your answer, A or B, below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this story and want more content to improve your English, please subscribe to our channel. Your subscription gives us the motivation to create more high-quality lessons. We also rely on donations to cover our costs, especially in these early days when we produce content for free. If you can, please consider donating to help us continue this work. Thank you for your support.